Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Not going to waste any time today. There is a lot of news today, and to be honest, most of it is bad. So if you are looking for an upper of a DNB, swipe left and delete. All right, let's get into it. This happened late on Monday night, but we didn't have all of the details for yesterday's DNB, so here goes. At about 9:30 p.m., police were called to the 200 block of Federalsburg South in Laurel, which is just near Maryland City, for a shooting. When they got there, they found a man deceased on a neighbor's steps. His wife was deceased inside their home, and their 10-year-old son was suffering from a life-threatening gunshot wound to the chest. And another man was deceased also in the home. Police are still sorting it all out, but homeowners Ryan Lee and his wife Ivania had another woman living in their home. That woman's ex-boyfriend, identified as Sean Price of Welcome, Maryland, came to the home trying to reconcile and broke into the home, shooting Mr. Lee and his wife. Mr. Lee exited the home to try to get help. His son was also shot, and Price then turned the gun on himself. The son was flown to Hopkins Pediatric after surgery, is listed in critical but stable condition. The woman who was living there escaped the home and fled to a neighbor's home with another 2-year-old child. It's unknown if that child is hers or the Lees. Now, the Capitol has reported that the woman had taken a protective order out on the suspect but had rescinded it herself. There's still a lot to investigate and piece together this tragedy, and we will update it on eyeonannapolis.net as we know more. Police are asking anyone with any information to contact them at 410-222-4731 or anonymously at 410-222-4700. God, just a terrible, terrible tragedy. Just before noon the other day at the Exxon on Crane Highway in Glen Burnie, police were checking on an occupied BMW in the parking lot. They noticed marijuana and 2 black duffel bags in plain sight and asked the driver to get out. Instead of complying, he started to drive away and actually headed toward an officer. Another officer reached into the car and the driver grabbed his hand and sped off. The officer was able to free himself and they pursued the car. They found the duffel bag along the side of the road with a large amount of drugs and a loaded Glock handgun with a laser sight in it. They tracked the suspect to an apartment on Winding Wood Road, and when he ran out, he got into a Hyundai, took aim at a few police cruisers before hitting a tree. They ultimately did arrest the suspect, a 29-year-old male from the 500 block of Bentaloo Street in Baltimore, and charged him accordingly. If you want to see the list of the stash they confiscated, and I'll tell you, it is long, you want to check out that story on eyeonannapolis.net. Here's an update and a bit of good news. Earlier, we told you about a rape in Glen Burnie where a woman was picked up and taken behind a business and raped near some dumpsters. Police were looking for a suspect driving a Hyundai, and yesterday they found him. They developed a lead a while ago and followed it, and when he was arrested, there was evidence linking him to the rape. He's been identified as a 31-year-old male from Glen Burnie and was charged with first and second-degree rape and a number of other charges. So really a good job on the Anne Arundel County Police Department for resolving this one so quickly. And here is the last of the bad news stories of the day, I promise. Over the weekend, the Colonial Pipeline was hacked and held for ransom, interrupting like 70% of the fuel on the East Coast. Well, the pinch is being felt in 13 states that are starting to run out of gas. My daughter said that there are miles-long lines at some of the gas stations in Wilmington, North Carolina. And yesterday, Governor Hogan held a cabinet meeting, and there has been a statewide response, and they are monitoring it. The pipeline operators say it will not be long until it's restored, but Hogan says we are prepared for any contingencies. However, he didn't say what or how or why. But he did say that for now, drivers should, quote, proceed as normal, unquote, which I guess is the Maryland version of that British saying, keep calm and carry on. In some geeky cool news, County Executive Pittman announced a new app that is map-based. They're overlaying all sorts of records on properties all throughout the county on a map. You click on your house, click on any piece of property, and you can see all of the information about that property, any capital improvements that were done to the roads in front of it, the sidewalks, etc. And it's really kind of cool to explore. They're adding more information all the time. The map is called My Anne Arundel, and you can check it out at maps.aacounty.org. And I'll warn you, It's a deep dive. You can get in there and get stuck in there for hours. It's really very fascinating and I think very useful. Okay, finally, and some great news. If you didn't make it to the 8th Beds for Burritos, boo on you. It was a good breakfast with a bunch of great people and an even better cause, and the people that were there were generous. It all benefited the Samaritan House in Annapolis, which is a recovery program for men. Chevy's Fresh Mex donated the space and the yummy food at no cost, and attendees were asked to make a donation. I certainly did, and so did most everyone else that was there, to the tune of $28,000. They did have a $30,000 goal, and this will go a long way to help those suffering in our community. Check out all that the Sam House does, and if you'd like to make a small donation, they are still about $2,000 shy of their $30,000 goal. You should go to SamaritanHouseAnnapolis.org. Once again, SamaritanHouseAnnapolis.org. All right, that does wrap up the news for us today. Whew. As always, thank you for listening, and if you are somewhere where you can leave us a rating or a review, please do, and make sure that you let your friends, family, and colleagues all know about us. A quick thank you to the sponsor for this daily news brief, Solar Energy Services up in Millersville, and to the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company. Hang tight, we have George Young from DCMDVA Weather here with your locally forecast weather, and right now, we have Rick Peters from Solar Energy Services.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services, with your Clean Energy Minute. Does your home experience power outages? Or maybe you're concerned about energy resilience in general? If so, that's another great reason to consider clean, quiet solar-powered energy with battery backup. You may have heard residential solar adoption has rapidly increased during the pandemic for multiple reasons, and many homeowners, like yourself, are adding battery backup and electric vehicle charging to their solar projects. And with Maryland's residential energy storage income tax credit, along with the federal tax credit for batteries when paired with solar, the economics are quite compelling, and that secure feeling is even better. So whether you're looking for clean energy, energy resilience, or overall peace of mind with solar energy, we can help. To schedule a free solar design, call us today at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net. But hurry, sunshine's a-wasting.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, May 12th. Yesterday brought another comfortable springtime day to the Annapolis region with a fair amount of sunshine and highs again in the 60s with slightly breezy winds as well. And today will be virtually the same with more 60s and sunshine and winds gusting over 15 miles per hour at times before a nice stretch of sunny weather settles into place Thursday through Sunday with light winds and warmer temps as well with highs upper 60s to mid 70s Thursday and Friday, before low to mid 70s and sunny for all on Saturday, followed by mid to upper 70s and sunshine with a few 80-degree readings possible on Sunday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DC MDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DC MDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And use our website each day by visiting DCMDVAweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company.
Hi, I'm Kristi Neidhardt. My team and I often get asked, is now a good time to make a move? The answer is absolutely. With interest rates the lowest they've been in nearly 50 years and inventory in high demand, now is the time to let us earn your trust. Whether you're looking to relocate, downsize, or find the home of your dreams, my team and I will guide you through the process and find exactly what you are looking for. Serving people is a passion of mine, and it's what my team does best. That's the Neidhardt difference.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-295-6579 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Ion Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.